If your customers are asking AI assistants for recommendations, your brand needs to be present when those answers are generated. In a world shaped by ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, and Google AI overviews, there is little room for maybes. Either you show up in the recommendations with credible citations, or you do not. This is where Citation Junction aims to help, by tracking your visibility inside AI search and logging the sources those systems cite when they surface products and services. In this review, I will explain what Citation Junction is, how it works, which platforms it covers, who benefits most, and how it compares against alternatives like Semrush, Peec AI, and OtterlyAI. I will also share a buying checklist so you can evaluate whether it fits your GEO or generative engine optimization strategy. First, what is Citation Junction? It is an AI visibility and citation tracking platform designed to monitor how your brand appears in answers delivered by large language models and AI-driven search features. When someone asks for the best tools, top platforms, or recommended vendors, Citation Junction indicates whether your brand makes the list and which sources the AI used to justify its response. This provides a measurable view into your presence across AI-driven discovery pathways and helps you understand what influences those outcomes. Which platforms are included? Citation Junction monitors major AI systems where product and vendor recommendations are common: ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, and Google AI overviews. Each of these platforms surfaces answers in different ways. Perplexity consistently lists citations and source links. Claude and ChatGPT can include references or summaries, depending on the prompt and context. Google AI overviews blend traditional search signals with AI-generated summaries, and when shown, include links to supporting pages. Citation Junction focuses on capturing your mentions within these answers and mapping them back to the cited sources when they are present. How does it work at a high level? You define the brands, products, or categories you want to track. The platform observes responses from supported AI systems, identifies where your brand is mentioned in recommendation-style answers, and records which sources were credited. Over time, you can see trends such as how often you appear, which prompts or intents favor your brand, and which publications or pages are most influential. This gives you a feedback loop that informs content strategy, digital PR, and partnerships. What questions does this help answer for a marketing team? First, are we being recommended by AI systems for the key buying journeys that matter? Second, which sources and articles are shaping those recommendations? Third, how does our visibility compare to known competitors? And fourth, what should we prioritize to improve coverage, such as refreshing authoritative guides, earning citations from reputable publications, or aligning our content to the intents that trigger AI shortlists? Let's talk about data you can expect. The core is brand presence in AI-generated recommendations across the tracked platforms. You should be able to see when your brand appears, the context or query family it appeared for, and which sources were cited in the answer. Because AI outputs are dynamic, the value is in trend lines and repeated observation rather than one-off checks. If you are improving citations in respected sources and updating helpful content, you should see that reflected in the frequency and stability of your AI mentions over time. Who gets the most value from Citation Junction? B2B SaaS companies that compete in crowded categories, e-commerce brands and segments where best-of lists drive conversions, agencies managing GEO programs, and PR teams tasked with building authority in the publication's AI systems trust. Product marketers can confirm whether messaging lands in AI comparison answers. Content teams can identify citation gaps. PR can target the outlets that repeatedly appear in AI citations for the queries that matter. How does this compare to alternatives? Semrush remains a best-in-class suite for traditional search engine optimization, keyword research, site audits, and link building. It has added AI-related capabilities, but its core strength is still web SERPs, not specialized AI citation tracking. Peec AI and OtterlyAI are newer tools focused on AI search visibility as well, though their coverage and reporting depth may differ. When comparing, center your decision on 4 questions. Do they monitor the specific AI platforms that influence your buyers? How frequently do they refresh and log changes? How thoroughly do they capture and organize citations and sources? And how easily can you export or share reports with executives and partners? What about pricing? Expect plan tiers that vary by track topics or brands, refresh cadence, historical data retention, and reporting. If you're just starting, aim for coverage of the AI platforms you see in your analytics and sales calls. As you scale,
prioritize broader platform coverage and deeper reporting that supports cross-functional decision-making. Let's address limitations and the reality of AI search. Large language models can produce different answers from day to day as models, index coverage, and context windows evolve. This is why relying on a single snapshot is risky. You need systematic tracking that smooths volatility and helps you separate noise from signal. Use Citation Junction's measurements to identify persistent patterns, like the publications that repeatedly show up as citations, and the intents where your brand is consistently omitted. Those patterns reveal durable opportunities. How do you operationalize insights from this data? Start by defining query families that mirror buyer intent. Examples include best category tools, top category platforms for use case, and alternatives to competitor. Monitor these across ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, and Google AI overviews. Next, analyze the cited sources that appear alongside strong rivals. If the same analyst report, long-form guide, or comparison article shows up repeatedly, align your content and PR to those hubs of authority. Update your own in-depth resources to be genuinely helpful, with clear evidence, product details, and user outcomes. Where appropriate, build relationships with journalists and editors at outlets that AI systems frequently cite. What does good performance look like? A healthy upward trend in the frequency of brand mentions across tracked AI platforms, stable presence on the intents that correlate with revenue, and a growing footprint of credible citations tied to your brand or third-party validation. It also includes faster detection of drops, so you can counteract issues like outdated content, broken links, or a competitor's aggressive PR cycle. Let's consider use cases by team. For SEO and content, Citation Junction highlights which pages and sources influence AI answers, so you can prioritize updates. For PR, it surfaces the publications that AI systems rely on, guiding outreach and byline placement. For product marketing, it validates messaging resonance within AI-generated comparisons. For leadership, it translates AI search performance into a trackable metric that complements traditional SEO and paid channels. What should you evaluate before buying? Confirm platform coverage for ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, and Google AI overviews. Ask about refresh frequency and how the system handles variability in AI outputs. Review how citations are captured, attributed, and stored. Check reporting features, alert options, and export capabilities you will need for internal stakeholders. Also confirm data retention, regional coverage if your business operates globally, and any controls for privacy and compliance. So, is Citation Junction worth it? If AI assistants influence how your buyers discover products in your category, the ability to measure your presence and the citations underpinning those recommendations is becoming essential. Citation Junction focuses directly on that need. If you already rely on a traditional SEO suite like Semrush, consider Citation Junction as a complementary layer for AI search visibility. If you're testing Peec AI or OtterlyAI, compare coverage and citation logging depth side by side, and select the tool that best matches your market and reporting requirements. The bottom line is that AI search is now a real acquisition channel, and it rewards brands that show up consistently with credible evidence. With disciplined tracking, content that solves real problems, and PR that earns mentions in authoritative sources, you can move the needle. Citation Junction gives you the visibility to guide that work and to prove progress to the business.